disgraced politicians. We've seen more than a handful of our elected leaders resign for unsavory things, perhaps, but some are making their way back into the spotlight, going beyond the typical mea culpas and starring in their own TV shows, book deals, even running for office again. Well, political comedian Dean Obeidallah is in New York. So we've got former, South Carolina governor who we saw there, Mark Sanford, running for a congressional seat after he was publicly caught cheating on his wife. In your state, former Representative Anthony Weiner has set off speculation that he may be making a comeback after getting caught sending racy pictures to women other than his wife. So how do these guys, how do they find favor again?
I think, Christy, these guys are like Jason from Friday the 13th movies. You can't kill them. They just keep coming back. They're like political zombies. Every time you think they're dead, they're back walking around. You know what? Anthony Weiner, just this week it came out, he spent $100,000 on polling to see about running for mayor of New York this year. And as people remember, he resigned because he accidentally tweeted pictures of himself in his underwear out. Apparently, he's learned how to use Twitter, and he wants to run for mayor. And then you have South Carolina, Mark Sanford, who's gone beyond thinking about running. He's actually a candidate for a House seat. Special election, the vote is next week, and he's a leading Republican. And if he wins a nomination, he's probably back in the House. So these guys are back, and I don't think they're ever going to go away. You're going to see this over and over.
All right, but do you think the comebacks can work?
I think, honestly, overall, as Americans, we're forgiving people. If you say you're sorry and the crime you've done, or lack of a better term, not actually a crime, but the fault is nothing with corruption, you haven't stolen money, it's a personal thing like in the case of these two gentlemen, I think we can be forgiving over time if we see you're sincere. So, Sanford's probably going to win, and I think Weiner could have a good chance, frankly. But why do you think they keep putting themselves back in the spotlight? Some people might say, why don't you just go get, regular job? Well, why don't I sleep more in on Sunday mornings and don't come on this show? Because they like the attention. This is what it's about. We have the same thing in each of us. I think some of them, it's truly about public service, and they just were led astray by their own weaknesses and have sinned and are trying to, get over it and make up for it. Others just can't help being on TV and speaking and getting the attention that fuels them, and that's part of their self-worth, frankly. We can't talk about this without talking about Bill Clinton, who is at the heart of one of the biggest White House sex scandals ever. Now, he's one of the most post-popular politicians around, with about 2/3 of all Americans approving of him. How much, if at all, then, do you think getting caught in a scandal hurts politicians? It's a temporary hurt, it seems. I think it is temporary. It depends on the scandal. Like, I'm hoping to get into a scandal to raise my visibility across the country. I'm not sure which one it will be. But look, Bill Clinton is back stronger than ever. You have the other two politicians we talked about. Even people in the midst of a scandal, like Rod Blagojevich, the former governor of Illinois, was actually on Trump's show Celebrity Apprentice while under indictment. Tom DeLay, the former House Majority Leader, was on Dancing with the Stars after he was thrown out of Congress. Today's world, if you become a celebrity, we watch you. And sadly, a good celebrity or a bad one doesn't matter anymore. You're famous, there's cachet to that, and it will get eyeballs to watch a TV show or to buy books. And that's part of the world we live in today, this hyper-reality world, reality show mentality we have. So, do you have any advice for someone trying to bounce back from a scandal? Do you take time off and then try to kind of ease your way back in? Or, like you said, if you're famous, you just get out there and take it while it's hot? I think it's part of what your scandal is. Like, what did you do wrong? Like Bob Nye, the former congressman from Ohio, was in prison for a year. Now he just wrote a book, and last week he was on all the talk shows. So time has passed from his prison time. He's contrite now. He writes a book. He badmouths Congress. He's on all the shows, and I bet you'll see more of him on other shows as well, maybe as a regular contributor. We saw Elliot Spitzer go from governor to hosting a show on this network and then on current TV as well. So I think it depends. If it's a personal thing, like you've cheated on your spouse, it's wrong, it's regrettable, it's horrible. But I think in time, most of us forgive that. As long as it's not a corruption trial, crime, I think you'll see these guys back. And have a sense of humor. Mock yourself a little bit, saying, like, look, I made a mistake, I know it. As time passed, Bill Clinton is great at that.
All right, good point. Hey, Dean, thank you so much. So good to get your insight today. We appreciate it.
Nice seeing you, Kristen.